give a formal introduction about you, and then we'll start. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the next session of the Profile Building Fair on Data Science and Visualization program. We have Shanay Wadhwani with us from Data Art to talk about Data Science and Visualization program. It is a 6-week-long certification course aimed at equipping young leaders with skills in data science and machine learning through projects. Before we begin with the session, we have a few reminders that this session will be recorded and it will be uploaded on YouTube as a part of the profile building playlist. You can access the videos through by going onto the page of Nextina's webinars. Then there's a live Q&A session towards the end of the webinar with Shanay. You can clear all your doubts and queries regarding data science and visualization program. We'll try to take up as many questions as possible. We are really delighted to have you, Shanay, with us. So could you start the session by giving a quick introduction about you and about data art?
Certainly, yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm here to speak about data art and what we do, what we have done for the last year since the inception of this program. So data art, is it's a camp. It's a camp where you learn skills which are not taught to you in school or anywhere else, but they're extremely useful skills which are very marketable to job recruiters or in academia if you want to do research, and they're very applicable skills in the modern day and age, especially when everyone is online and looking at reports on their computers and sharing documents through email or whatever. So it's a camp aimed at teaching students how to code and code efficiently in 2 languages. We used to do R last year, which is the primary language that this course is about. It's about coding in R, but it's also now become a coding camp geared towards teaching young leaders coding in Python. So Python, we will be starting all these languages from scratch, and I will be teaching you the syntax and how to use each language to build cool, web apps and uh, interesting ways to analyze data in the form of tables. So our input basically looks like a table, and obviously the machine which consumes this table or this information is what we build, and our output looks like cool visualizations which can help you analyze topics of your interest through this course. But in the long term, it is to teach you how to present this information whether it's at your job or whether it's for your college profile, or whether it is for a research purpose that you might want to take up at such an initiative at your college under the guidance of a professor or something like that, or even just a passion project for yourself. So let me show you what these platforms look like. So R is, let me share my screen actually. Here. So this is what the platform R looks like, and we code in this. So I teach you exactly how to construct variables and name them, and then use those variables to build plots. So this is the machine that we work with, and it's downloadable on all computers. And our output, let me show you what our output looks like. So our output and the things we make look a bit like this, where we make these cool visualizations on dashboards on a topic of your interest and choice. This is about payment collection mechanisms, but this one is a map I made for Next Genius last time, where it's tracking, where students are present for this webinar and where they are coming from. So you can see that they're coming from all over India and also some places across the country. So I've scaled this map for brighter colors being concentration of higher students and where they're coming from. So this is what the output looks like, and this is what uh, 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 this is course is aimed at making you able to produce and produce reproducibly. So it's not that you'll make this map and forget about it. You will learn how to use these data techniques for various different skills which you are interested in. So those industries which you might be interested in would range from business to science communication to um, literature. There's one class in the schedule where we look at how to extract data from words, and looking at literature documents such as anything written. So any Harry Potter novel or something like that, we analyze the textual evidence in that book and present and build a report on our analysis of key ideas which are propagated throughout this book. So it's kind of like being a detective, but also learning detective skills which are broadly applicable to various departments of life and various subjects of interest to students. So in that sense, it's an extremely useful program. I would call it useful, and also I have a good relationship with my students, because students are always asking me after the program to help them with a project that they might want to build to showcase their interests or so. So we do that. So the course is aimed at helping you discover something or a topic of your interest, collecting data on this topic of your interest, and then analyzing it and presenting it in these research report type formats, just helping you build it and maybe show it to someone who'd also be interested in the same topic. Yeah. That's all. That's about data art. Next, I guess we can go into the course schedule. Um, so it starts with an intro to data science, what the scope and syntax is of the of the programming languages R and Python, and then we build plots, build these cool visualizations like the ones I showed you. And then we work on the text mining project on week 3, where we extract key ideas from text files, or basically any written book or page like that. And then data 4, I mean, week 4 is when we build actual machine learning techniques, and we build a training model and a testing model where we we build a training model where we train our model to look and understand about key features in the data, and then we test that model with new data that that model hasn't seen, and see how it performs, and then maybe improve our model or so. Week 5 is when we build the interactive web pages that I showed you, which you can zoom in and out of. You can click on each icon and have a text bubble pop up to tell you more about that certain data point. And week 6 is when we brainstorm for a topic of your interest, and I help you go about building a report for yourself. And the class ends with a certification program that saying that you did this class, and you got a good experience with learning data science. Yep, that's all I have about data art.
Thank
So
you.
as far as to how to join this program, there's a Google link which I will share with all of you. It's a link to a questionnaire where you show your interest, and just give me your email ID, and then I can contact you. The next batch of this class starts on August 21st, which is a Saturday, and it's on Saturdays and Sundays from 5 to 6 p.m. For 6 weeks.
Shanay, it would be really great if you can share the link to the program or the link to your website on the chat box so that all the students can access and can contact you. You can even provide your contact details like your mail ID, your number.
Yeah,
So it'll be free. Students will be able to contact you.
definitely. Yep, I'm gonna share that right away.
Yeah, you can send it on the chat.
What about questions? I see some.
Yes, we have a few questions. Okay, Shanai has sent his the Google Doc wherein you can sign in. Now we have a few questions that have come up regarding the program.
Mhm.
So a student has asked whether they require any prior knowledge before joining the internship, especially when they have never worked or learned coding or Python programming.
Yes, so the short answer is none. This course is directed entirely at students who have very little to no programming experience before, and it's aimed at those students to prepare them to have programming and coding skills after this course.
Right. And could you talk about, I mean, could you shed some light on the duration of the program? How long is it?
Sure, yeah. So it's for 6 weeks on Saturdays and Sundays from 5 to 6, and we also meet on Wednesdays to discuss a data set that you might have on a topic of your interest to help you build visualizations on it and prepare a research study on a topic of your interest.
Right. So this is an opinionated question from a student. Is the
Yeah.
field of data science fast growing, and how do you see it in the future?
Oh yeah, I definitely think the field of data science is fast growing, and that is a gross understatement in my opinion. I feel like you know the only efficient way to um, operate in today's day and age is to not only look at data but also properly digest data and make actions in accordance with your understandings and findings from that data. Um, there's a saying that data trumps intuition, and I think that's vastly accurate because if you ask yourself how do you actually feel about things, you might have an intuitional reaction to those things, and unless you are presented with facts and data that actually supports or contradicts what you feel, you cannot properly understand the issue.
Okay, thank you so much. Now the next question is, this program is apt for which grades, particularly 9 to 12? Which are the grades that you actually focus on?
Yeah, so it's focused on basically anyone who's sincerely interested in data science, but specifically it's designed to students between who are just in the later years of school or the early years of college. So I, that translates into the age groups of, I guess, around 16 to like 20 to 23.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
In your opinion, Shanai, do you think will these courses be of any value, or will it benefit the students if they are choosing a field in data science in the future? How is it going to benefit them?
Um, well, it will benefit you if you are interested in this, and even if you aren't interested in data science, if you're interested in marine biology, for example, but you're curious enough to ask a question as to, like, for example, why are dolphin populations increasing or decreasing, and you want to conduct a study on this case. um, uh, I will give you the tools to help you do that, to investigate a certain issue. Um, for data science students specifically, I think it's useful because it illustrates broad concepts in general, like the normal distribution, and other statistical tools such as regression lines and general logistic mappings, and certain key statistical concepts such as classification trees. These are broad statistical concepts which are discussed in this class and studied in this class. But I would like to emphasize that it's more a class on practical knowledge than it is on theoretical knowledge.
Great. Shanai, could you shed some light or could you just elaborate on your teaching methods? Is it going to be some sort of, you said that you'll be helping them with some tools, but is it going to be some sort of research work or will they get hands-on experience when they are working with you on this project? And how are you going to complete it in 6 weeks?
Yeah, so if there are a lot of people signing up, we will have to split the batches and maybe do it from 4 to 5 and then 5 to 6. Because I don't want too many students in a batch. There will certainly be, a degree to which I will know what you're doing, and you will have to report to me with progress made on your project. So you can't do that with too many people in a batch. So it is the maximum number of students in a class would be 8, less than 10. Um, and you'll also get to know everyone else you're working with, and I also encourage students to work with each other, and maybe build a big project with 2 or 3 students that have similar interests.
Thank you. Shanai, how do a student that Muskan has asked, how do you avoid errors in data art and how do you create an eye for intricacy?
So I think that comes with looking at numbers and distributions and classification labels that are present in data. um, I think it honestly takes a lot of time, and it's something that you and I have to work towards every day. It's not something that anyone is born with or anything.
Okay. Uh, there's a ninth grade over here who wants to know, the student is really interested in programming. So will
Mhm.
you be able to teach both programming and coding?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing really. I think coding is just slang for computer programming, but yeah, rest assured we will be we'll be programming in this course, almost from the first day, like from the first day to the last day.
Okay. Other than the programs that are being offered, do you also offer internships to students or other learning opportunities, any free courses or anything that the students can avail?
Not at this moment, but that's certainly something that I'm looking for as well. I think having a practical opportunity, such as an internship, would be helpful.
Okay. How are students, especially gap year students, going to benefit from the program?
I think it would help you as a gap year student take this program if um, you want to build a skill set that you didn't have before, and also certain skill sets that will help you in your career after you finish your gap year. I think it's a good expense of your time for sure, especially if you don't have programming skills and you want to learn something new, and you want to learn something new that's also useful.
Okay, thank you so much. Shruti has asked that she would like to start learning coding from the beginning, like from the basics. She's in 10th grade right now, and she would like to know if she'll be able to complete it by her 12th grade. Many students over here are really confused about the time frame and the duration of the course. How long is it going to take them to learn complete Python and coding?
Okay. So the way coding works is that there are um, different packages, and to learn complete coding, I guess that would mean to learn every package. And I don't think everyone or very few people have a knowledge of every package in Python and R. What you will have is a comprehensive understanding of a few packages, and hopefully that can help you discover new packages that you might want to learn by yourself, but it will certainly make you a master of a few packages, which help with data visualization and data organization.
Okay, could you explain more about the packages that you mentioned? And some students are also curious about the fee structure of these packages.
Yeah, so the program itself, R and Python, are absolutely free. My class is a paid class, but about these packages, they're open source, which means they're written by people all over the world, and I show you the how to use each package in my class over 6 weeks. So it is a 6 week class which starts August 21st and goes on till September or the end of September or the start of October. And so we will be coding for those 6 weeks. My data art is for 30,000 rupees from start to finish. Along, if you finish the course, you get a certificate.
Great, thank you, Shanai. Also, we are also curious to know about your team. Like, are you yourself teaching the course, the program, or do you have a dedicated team for the program?
Yes, it's just me teaching this program, but all my modules are already written, um, and all my quizzes and my basic tests are already written. So all my documentation for this program is already in place.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Shanai. With that, we come to the end of the session. We have got almost all the questions answered, and it was a great, interesting session. Thank you, really, for joining us this evening and talking about data art. Any final comments or advice do you have for the students?
None at all. Stick with data science, even if you don't want to join my program. I think it's a really fruitful, uh, place to be in and a space to understand. And I think it's the future, honestly. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with that.
Thank you for a beautiful piece of advice, Shanai. Uh,
Thank you.
before we Before we close the session, I have a few resources to share with the students. First is the Ask Us Anything initiative. So you can share your doubts and queries with us regarding college admissions, applications, or IELTS preparation, SAT, ACT prep, or anything. And our counselors would answer your doubts through recorded videos. And we'll be sharing the same on our Instagram account, that is at the rate of Next Genius Webinars, so that it will benefit you, the counselors, educators, and the link is provided in the chat box. You can also DM us for your doubts. We have two upcoming fairs in the month of August. The first one is the Research Symposium, which will be happening on 6th of August, and the next one is Study Medicine Abroad. It's happening on 2 days, that is August 21st and 22nd. You could register for both the events using the links that is provided in the chat box. We also have a YouTube account, that is Next Genius Webinars, where we post a lot of informational and educational content on college admissions, profile building, what to study at college, essay workshop, SAT ACT prep videos, and there are much more. So you can access our YouTube channel using the link that I have provided in the chat box. And with that, we come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, Shanai, for joining us.
Thanks for
We look,
having me. Yeah.
we
Cool.
look forward to having more sessions with you in the future.
Yeah, certainly. Have a nice day.
Have a, yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.